Hello everyone, good morning. So we need to wait a few more minutes and then we start the session. Other participants are coming soon to join this session, so please wait for a while. We will start hopefully at 9 uh, Thailand time, 9 a.m. Thailand time, Bangkok time. Sorry for the delay. We need to wait 5 more minutes and then we will start the session. Some other participants are coming to join the session, so we need to wait for a couple of minutes, not more than 5 minutes. Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. So we need to start the session. Uh, I hope the remaining participants will join soon. So we will not wait anymore, and we need to start this session. Am I audible? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we will start this session. Good morning, everyone. And I am Shakir. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this international conference on economics, business, tourism, and social sciences. The conference is organized by IARP, known as International Institute of Academic Research and Publication, in collaboration with Glovento Conference. As I see, uh, some of the participants still need to join. They are coming to join. I can see from the program schedule that we have a distinguished group of participants, including faculty members, scholars, and I hope that you will contribute to the vibrant discussion throughout this session. And me is serving as a session chair together with other reviewers. We will assess the live presentations, and based on the evaluation, the best papers will get an award in the form of certificates, will be sent to your email. And this evaluation uh, include the criteria that is quite simple and straightforward. Mean you need we need to see the quality of the paper contents, the innovation in the contents, the presentation skills, time management skills, how you engaged other audience, and how you provide your feedbacks to other participants, other presenters. So I trust that all the participants already received the program schedules and other necessary instructions for this session. And once again, I think I need to clarify it, that we will only have 10 minutes for each presentation, and you need to finish your presentation within 10 minutes. And we will have Q&As after each presentation. We will have question and answers, not at the end of the session, because I think I don't know whether other participants will join or not. So I think it's better to have the question and answer after each presentation. That will be the best. So I think some of the participants sent their pre-recorded video presentation, and that will be uploaded to our YouTube channel later, and I will share the YouTube channel link that is will be shared in the chat box. One more thing, this session is live on YouTube, so I need to inform you that this session is live on YouTube, and later I will share the YouTube channel link in the chat box. You can see it later, this live session on YouTube. So yes, it's quite important session. Let's start it. But before that, I think it's very important to introduce you to the uh, organization who organized this conference. And for this purpose, let me share my screen. I'm checking my PPT. So is it visible to everyone? Mhm. I hope it's visible to
Yeah.
everyone. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. Let me check. Okay, good. So this is IIARP, known as International Institute of Academic Research and Publication. IIARP is a dynamic conglomeration of academia and professionals, which is dedicated to promote research and innovation, making a significant global impact, and the primary objective is to unite researchers and professionals from around the world, fostering an intellectual development and facilitating opportunities for networking and collaborations for scholars from around the world. So this organization is basically engaged in different academic activities, including but not limited to networking events, meetings, conferences, workshops, research projects, and additionally, we are committed to publishing cutting edge research publication in different good index journals, and we are also recognizing outstanding achievements of the scholars through academic awards and scholarships. These things you can explore by visiting our website www.iiarp.org. These are some of our associates and partners, such as Glovento, Conference Alert 360, and manuscript edited by IIARP. So basically, what we do, the important thing is the world-class networking. Networking is very much important for any scholar in academia, which connect with the global community of researchers, scholars, and industry experts. We are organizing international national conferences, cutting edge discussion, and present your work on global stage. And you can also having the opportunities to share your research through journal publication or your abstracts and extended abstracts in the conference proceeding books. Yeah. So uh, IIARP is a well uh, known, a renowned organization dedicated to foster global scientific academic collaboration with a rich history of organizing international and national conferences from last more than one decade. IIARP has made significant contribution to different fields of study. Our extensive network spans across numerous countries, including Bangladesh, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Nepal, Nigeria, Philippines, Russia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Thailand, UAE, USA, Canada, and many more different countries and capital cities around the world. So here are publication opportunities for the participants of the conference. You can publish your abstracts in the conference proceeding book with the DY number. You can also publish your paper in an international peer-reviewed journal that will be indexed in Google Scholar and Dodge index. And you can also choose to publish your paper in Scopus and Web of Science index journals. If you need later, I will share our publication contact detail, and your manuscript can be edited, prepared for submission in different journals. So you don't worry about that. We have that specific dedicated service provided to the authors, complete and comprehensive package. how to prepare your manuscript, what need to be done, what are required for different journal. All these things will be done by our team for you. Don't worry. Yeah. Here are different criterias what you need to prepare for submitting to Scopus or Web of Science journals specifically, so you don't worry about these requirements if you're really serious about publication in Scopus Web of Science index journals. Later I will share our team contact and you can come to contact them and they will guide you step by step, point by point, how to prepare your manuscript, what are required for submitting your manuscript to the Scopus and Web of Science journals. So these requirements, our team will share with you. They will consult you in detail, one-to-one meeting. So don't worry about that. Yeah, these information will be shared later in the chat box about our team contact, and they will come to guide you about the requirements in the comprehensive publication package. These are some of the publications we published in Scopus Q1 Web of Science, including SCI, EI, and different databases, indexing systems. I have just share few of the example. There are many more for different participants on in our past conferences. Yeah, there's some of the glimpses from the past conferences, in person and online conferences as well. You can explore more about different activities, past conferences in academic events by visiting our website www.iiarp.org. Yeah. So one thing more, at last, I need to mention that in order to be environmental friendly, uh, we will send all the certificates and conference proceeding book in soft copies to your email after this session. So you will receive that in your email. We don't want to print it every thing and then send it to the participant. We do that in every organization. I think nowadays pay attention to this. Not need to print these things every time and then just waste it. It's not a good thing. Yeah, not considered good. So that's what I need to mention. Thank you. And now we are coming. Let me check whether someone else joined our session or not. Let me check. So this is okay. I think we have three participants, but anyway, we will start the session. And uh, let me check the program schedule. And the first participant, I think, is 637, the paper ID 637. And the paper title is Tracing Invisible Labor, Material Narratives of Migrant Fishermen Through Paper and Thread, to be presented by Wang Chi Mao. Are you available?
Yes, I will share my slides.
Yes, please.
Okay, so everyone can show my slides, right?
Let me check. Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, so hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Wan Qimo, and today I would like to present my practice-based communication design research titling The Tracing Invisible Labors, Materials, Narrative of Migrant Fishermen Through the Paper and Thread. So this project explores how communication design can visualize invisible migrant labors network through the materials-based design method, especially like stitching, layering, and mapping. So firstly, I will start of my background of my research. So in Southeast Asia, the fishing industry need many migrant workers, most of them from the neighboring countries. For example, like the Myanmar and the Cambodia. These workers are quite necessary. They help the sea economic develop well, but they are not noticed by societies, the government, and the public. So at the same time, they work in a bad conditions. For example, like the long working hours, the debt bandage, and the unstable legal status, and some like is little social respect. So even like their work supports the whole supply chains, but we cannot say them. We can hardly see them in public stories, official papers, or public reports. So those invisibilities that is the start of my research. As a communication design student, I became interested about like how can design making those invisible labors more visible and perceptible. So it came to my research main questions: how communication design making invisible labor network more visible and perceptible through the materials and virtual representations. Based on those kind of questions, my project divided into the three main directions or three main objectives. The firstly, I explore stagings and materials-based design as metaphor tools for visualize the migrant labors and the uh, migrations networks. And second is about the investigate how map can move the pure geography functions becoming narrative communication tools. And third one is about the virtual installations, is to develop the design approach that translate the micro network into the tactile and the spatial virtual forms. And about my theoretical framework, I'm more focused on the craft, emotion, and the labors. So as my research, the firstly is focused on the craft and the thinking and the narratives tools. So as the research from the team in Go and the Pokers, they describe the craft is not only the core process, but also a way of thinking and storytelling through the making. So these ideas help me to understand staging as a narrative languages rather than a simple decorations. And the second one is about the materials. It's not a passive object. Instead, the materials also carry about the emotional and the social meanings. It became important when I doing materials choosing, like I was choosing the fragile and the thin transparent materials that communicate with the instabilities and invisibilities. And the series that mention about the craft as a social repair, they're more focused on like making progress can fix the social gaps and reconnect people's experience with public awareness. And finally, it's about the uh, migrations and belongings theories that combine like together with artists such as Dong Su influenced me to understand like mobilities, displacement, and emotional attachment across borders. Together, those theories shape my conceptual foundations of my design programs. And also like some case study also inspire my design, which the most of artists and design who use the materialist and installation to express the memories, absence, traumas, and the social narratives. Like they use the fragile materials to represent the loss and the balance, and also some don't also like they use the home's identity through the translucent architectural fabric installation. So like those can things I will analyze how they are transformed the invisible experience into materials and spatial forms and adapt those kind of approach into my own communication design methodologies. So like so my research adapted a practice-based design methodologies. In these methodologies, design not only the final outcome, but also the process of inquiry. This research developed through a iterative circles, is including the conceptual development, materials experimentations, virtual translations, reflections, and refinements. And rather than start with a fixed final design, I'm more testing materials, forms, and staging technique, layer systems, and also the virtual constructions. So it's combined the theoretical research and the experimental making it together. The main research method is like to do the materials explosions and technique experience. And at the same time, I doing layers virtual compositions experience. So first step is like so the result is like I refine the virtual languages of the labels represent. I develop the progress of depersonalized. I abstract the repeated labels postures from the documentary and fiction labels reference, especially action like salt, sortings, pures, and carrying. Those repetitive movements becoming the labor trends rather than the posture. And instead of the represent those individuals, the bodies becoming symbols of repetitive labor conditions. Those abstractions allow the workers focus on the labor structures, movement, and the invisibles. At the same time, the repeated gestures virtualize communication exhaustions, repetitions, and physical bondings. So the second one is about the staging explorations. It's more focused on staging experience. I experienced how thought could function as a most both the virtual and the conceptual languages. It's and the craft like the staging is becoming the migrant roads, the labor connections, and the physical movement. And I tested different staging directions, tensions, and the layers method to on the tracing paper and the fabric. Through those kind of experience, the staging finally becoming a systems. They visualize the invisible relationship between the labors, migrations, and exploitations. So, so the third stage, I explore like layer virtual compositions. I mainly to use the tracing papers becoming because of its seam transparency and visual qualities. So the trace papers allows multi-visual layers coexist within one structures. Those layers reflect the complex and the migrant labor systems. Invisible labors doesn't exist in uh, isolation. So it's combined together with the institution systems, migrant roles, economic structures, and physical labor conditions. These layers becoming a virtual structure, strategies and composition, conceptual sorry, the structures. And so it's becoming three layers of my final layers installations. So the final outcome is layered installations composed of map, staging sort, tracing papers, figures, and also fishing net. So the first layer is about the narrative map. These layers represent the installation systems of the across the Southeast Asia, especially connect between the Thailand, Myanmar, and Cambodia. And the second layer is represent the labor bodies and mobility. Mobility. This fragment and the simple transparent labor trends visualize the invisible movements and the repetitive works. And the third layer is using fishing net as a metaphor for the labor's exploitations and also restrictions. So those like uh, installations rather than represent the information in purely documentary way, these installations create a more tactile and the spectral narrative experience. So like the fragilities, transparency, and the stagings becoming narrative tools for communication social invisibilities. So it's, this is my final work and about the contribution and future directions. So firstly is proposed the staging as a methodology for virtualizing the migrant and invisible labors network. And secondly is demonstrate how fragile materials such as transient paper can communicate vulnerabilities and the invisibilities. And third one is expand the communication design beyond to the purely geography represent into the like, tactile and the spatial storytellings. At the same time, this project also has limited, for example, like the installation more focus on the perceptual and emotional uh, virtualizations rather than comprehensive data or mapping. And also like fragilities materials, these have the physical limitations for the large scope displays. So in the future, I hope to develop more about this project in area of like larger immersive installations and digital instruction, and also increase more participatory and audience response experience. I also interested about like express like research towards the border migrations or diaspora communities. So in conclusions, this research explores how communication design can transform invisible labors into more perceptible materials narrative through the staging, layering, and mapping, and using some fragile materials. This project virtualizes the hidden labor systems and overlook about the conversion and the representations. And also more important, this project demonstrates how materials-based design can create the emotional and spectral engagement with the social
Please
issues
conclude.
rather
Please
than only.
conclude.
Okay, so that's all of my research. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to your questions. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for presenting this good research tracing invisible material narratives of migrants, fishermen through paper and thread. That's a good research. However, uh, is there any question from other participant regarding this presentation? Okay, I think other participants don't have question, but I have few question I want to ask. Uh, did you meet these fishermen in real life and talk to them?
Actually, I work with the NGO, like some like organization, like they're like non. like the the people that working for working with those migrant fishermen. So like there have some foundations or like some website to support those kind of groups, like NGO, like kind of like NGO group.
So basically, you got these material, this data from NGOs, not from the fishermen.
Yeah, also I get the data from the also some like documentaries, like secondary data most of it, not like first data.
So this is not a primary data.
No, it's like the public one. But like for my interview, I just like doing some like basic information collections to help me to know more about those groups and like their challenges, their situations. Most of them is like that. And also when I doing some like, installations, like those kind of group will viewer of my design and to give some suggestions.
Okay, good. But you know that there are many critiques on such studies that you never met the real people who you are working, you are presenting, and you are through these things, these visual material. That's one critique, maybe one critique from the reviewer if you are submitting this manuscript to any peer-reviewed journal. They may criticize this as aestheticization of the visual art, and you never met those real migrants. You never heard to their stories. You never heard to their painful stories and other things. You are just maybe representing in visual forms the or aestheticization or aestheticization their stories. That's maybe one critique uh, from the reviewer side. I don't know. I didn't read your full paper. How did you write your full paper? What is your methodology? All these things are very much important if you want to submit it to any good peer review journal. What's your aim for publishing this paper? Whether Scopus or any peer review journal is okay for you.
Yeah, as any journal is for, we don't have a requirement of the public, actually. We just require for the join the conference
So
for
do you
this.
want
If
do you
because
want
it's
to
just my first
oh, okay. Do you
first
want to
like research.
publish this paper?
Uh, for now, not yet because I'm just like first steps. I haven't finished my whole research. Yeah, this is just my a part of my research.
Yeah, so I think I suggest you need to meet these people, these migrants in real and have a little bit of face-to-face experience. That will be better for you, you know, and record it in your data that yes, of course, I met them and I heard to them. I
They have like main problems. It's like why I choosing the third um part parties instead of the real person because it's those kind of group is kind of like sensitive. So I need to consider about like the ethic problem, like they're very sensitive, those kind of group. So I just find the uh like responses from no from those kind of like organizations response like the parties instead of the real person because if I got like contact with those kind of person like migrant fishermen directly maybe like it's more sensitive so like my our lectures is considered like that issues so they think like I better to meet the person that working with those kind of migrant fishermen instead of like to to collect the data from the first. like first data. So like I use most of it is like the secondary data.
Yeah. Your concerns are valid. There are ethical problems you will face, but as a researcher, you need to face these things. Otherwise, you will not go ahead to the advanced stage. You need to do these things, and you need to consider the ethical concerns, how to solve the ethical problems. Then you will be able to go to the next stage. So you need to consider this. Anyway, that's a very good presentation. Thank you so much. I will go to the next presenter. In the next presenter, I don't know whether it's available or not. The paper ID is 641. The effects of gamified collaborative learning and Chinese vocabulary and culture achievements and engagement among the grade 5 bilingual students, to be presented by Yusawadi.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please go ahead with your screen sharing. 4, 6, 4.
Okay.
Hmm. It's this Alice. Okay, please go
Uh,
ahead.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Yoswadi Gosen. I'm very happy to present my study. The title of my presentation is The Effects of Gamified Collaborative Learning on Chinese Vocabulary, Culture, and Engagement among 45 students. This study focuses on elementary Chinese learning in Thailand. More specifically, it looks at how game elements and collaborative learning can help grade 5 bilingual students learn Chinese vocabulary and cultural content more effectively. In this presentation, I will briefly introduce the background, the research problem, the methodology, and the main results, and the implications of the study. First, I would like to briefly introduce myself. I am a master's candidate at Chiang Mai University. I also work as a primary Chinese teacher in Chiang Mai. This slide presents a concise overview of the study. The objective of the research was to investigate the combined synergy of gamification and collaborative learning in Chinese teaching. The focus of the study was Chinese vocabulary and cultural learning among 45 students. To examine this, I conducted a 4-week exploratory mixed method intervention with 40 bilingual students aged 10 to 11. The key contribution of the study is that it found statistically significant growth in both vocabulary and cultural comprehension. At the same time, one crucial insight is that game mechanics can boost motivation, but teacher scaffolding remains essential for reducing social loafing and maintaining stable collaboration. Next, I will explain the context of the study. First, there is a growing demand for Chinese learning in Thai international education. Second, there is also a clear barrier. Chinese presents multi-dimensional linguistic complexity, including character, tone, and abstract cultural content. Third, this leads to a drop-off in motivation. As students move into upper elementary grades, text difficulty increases, and many students begin to lose motivation. Based on this context, the hypothesis of the study is that combining game mechanics, which provide an initial push, with peer collaboration, which provides system support, may help bridge this gap. The slides explain the research gap more clearly. What we already know is that gamification can improve engagement and collaboration collaborative learning can support peer learning. However, most studies examine these two approaches separately. What is still missing is stronger evidence in Chinese language classrooms, especially in relation to cultural understanding. In addition, classroom dynamics are often overlooked in previous research. Based on this gap, this study asks two research questions. First, can this synergy improve students' cultural understanding? Second, can it improve overall instructional effectiveness? This study used a four-phase instructional blueprint. It was an exploratory mixed method study with single group pretest and co-test design, involving 40 grade 5 bilingual students. In phase 1, students completed baseline assessments through pretesting of vocabulary and cultural comprehension. In phase 2, they received knowledge input through multimedia storytelling and smart-based visual scaffolding. In phase 3, students participated in gamified collaboration, including point-based rewards and time pair matching tests. Then in phase 4, the learning process moved into prepared evaluation, which included measuring academic gains and observing behavioral shifts. This four-phase module helped connect assessment, input, collaboration, and reinforcement in one structured cycle. Now I will move to the main result. Overall, all improvements were statistically significant, with especially strong gains in vocabulary acquisition. On the left side, we can see vocabulary acquisition before the intervention. The student vocabulary scores were very low. For example, the Spring Festival module studied at 0.2, the Mid-Autumn module at 1.02, and the Dragon Boat module at 0.88. After the intervention, this score increases to 4.53, 4.13, and 4.65. This shows very strong vocabulary improvement. On the right side, we can see cultural comprehension. Students already had some basic cultural familiarity before the intervention, so the pretest scores were higher than vocabulary. Even so, protest scores will increase clearly, reaching 4.5, 4.33, and 4.22 across the three modules. So the overall pattern is clear. Students made strong gains in both areas. Vocabulary growth was especially large, while cultural comprehension also improved and built on students' exceeding cultural familiarity. This time moves beyond test score and look at what happened during the intervention process. On the left side, we can see the gamification effect. Game mechanics such as points and leaderboard help prevent motivation drop-off. Engagement remained high across all phases. On the right side, we can see the collaboration nuance. Group cohesion defeats mid-intervention. About 25% of students show social loafing. Teacher intervention restored group balance. This means that gamification helps sustain energy and participation, while collaboration brought both support and challenges. So teacher guidelines remain an important part of the instructional process. In conclusion, this study suggests that gamified collaborative learning can be an effective approach in elementary Chinese teaching. It improves vocabulary learning, cultural comprehension, and classroom engagement. This slide shows the main idea in a simple way. Gamification works like an engine. It gives Students in initial push and help sustain motivation. Collaborative learning was like a wheel. It supports deeper learning and peer interaction. The teacher works like a steering wheel. Without active guidance, the process may not move in the right direction. So the key message of this study is that effective teaching is not only about adding points or rewards. It is also about guiding group dynamics, supporting social interaction, and creating meaningful collaboration. My call to action is that educators can adopt this synergistic model in language education, but they should also be ready to actively manage group cohesion and scaffold student social skills. Finally, I would like to explain my STEM skill set. First, I would like to thank the 30 grade 5 student participants for their enthusiasm and hard work during this study. I would also like to thank the expert reviewers and educators who have validated the research, instruction, and instructional design. The feedback was very helpful in improving the quality of this project. I also want to give special thanks to the Chiang Mai University and the participating school for their support. Thank you very much for your attention. I welcome your question and discussion.
Thank you. Thank you so much for presenting your research findings in this session. And I will ask other participants if they have any questions for this presentation before I go to ask the questions. Any question from other participant? Okay. I'm just a little bit curious that you said gamification can improve the vocabulary improvements or can increase vocabulary gains and can ensure that students are deeply learning Chinese language or any other languages. But did you observe that these students were basically interested in playing games rather than learning the language?
Yes, sure. So I designed the collaborative test so that they will want to win the game. So that they need to remember the word that I teaching for to win the game. If like
Mhm.
help help that they will not too interested in game and no study because they need to
So,
win, they need to learn.
yes, so you think that they're just focusing on winning the game, not if this motivation, this incentive is not there, they will not continue to learn. Did you notice this thing?
Um, actually, actually, students will not only enjoy the game but also improving academically. They want to learn Chinese more than before I touch traditional ways. They will looking forward the next Chinese class. They not just only want to want to play game, but they also want to improve their Chinese. The game uh let the Chinese more fun, let the class more fun.
Okay, good. So will you continue to observe these students?
Yes, sure. I will continue to observe the future, maybe because we have other subject, but it's Chinese, but maybe not teach with this way. And I will observe in two ways, which way student will get good performance.
Okay, good. And what's your aim for this research? Where you want to publish it, or you don't want to publish it?
Yeah, I want to publish.
You want to publish it in any journal or any specific database journal?
I want to Scopus.
You want to publish it in Scopus.
Yeah.
So your manuscript is ready for submission, or is you still need to work on it?
Um, I already sent my full paper.
Oh, you already sent your full paper to the conference committee.
Yes.
Okay, good. I hope that this study is quite interesting, quite new, and quite innovative. It will get published in a good Scopus Index journal. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much once again for sharing your research finding. And if there is no other question from other participant, I will move to the third participant.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that is the third participant is, let me please wait just a while. It's the third participant is 607, low cost cathode for floating microbial fuel cells enabled by CO2. And this is the title, yeah, to be presented by Tan Dao Dai. Are you available?
Yeah,
667.
yeah, available now.
Can you please proceed with your papers? 6 to 7. In that's 10, 5, 8. Okay, please proceed with your paper presentation.
Yeah, just wait me a minute. I will open it right now. And just wait me a minute. I will open my camera.
Okay.
Now, can you see that?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. And just let I have introduced a little bit before starting. That's in the name of my house. They are now fixing a little bit. So maybe there are some a little bit noise. Forgive me about that. And today, my name is Tan Dao Duy, and I am studying PhD at Ritsumeikan University, come from Japan. And today I want to discuss about the impact of these nitrogen diffusers on the catalyst, which has been previously applied and reported in our floating microbial fuel cell system. And in this part, there have in this presentations, there have 6 parts. And I want to come to the first part is about the background informations that maybe everybody know that in the 21st centuries is the era of population explosions in many Asian countries. And there is a linear relationships here. That's really interesting about the growth of increased energy demand and the increase of wastewater volume with the population's growth. And increase of energy demand lead to the decline in the air quality, while rising of wastewater volume contribute to the water populations. So everybody knows that renewable energies like solar, wind, water is widespread though as solutions for energy demand. But wastewater nowadays still use the electric grid, still use the electrical energy from electric grid to change the organic pollutant in electrical electrochemical methods consume a lot of electrical energy. And they are to optimize the system and minimize the operating cost by microbial fuel cells will be the core technology playing like a dual function system. In this system, bacteria use organic pollutant as a food. They digest the substance and break them down into the simply compound, then release the electrons in that process. So comes to the previous problem of we have published in others journal about the microbial fuel cells, and this research end. In previous study, that there are two main that I have highlighted two main issues was identified that needs to be improved. So the first is about the leakage of weak cobalt bonds, which have negatively impact to the bacterial populations at the anode, and the cathode voltage drop rapidly during the startup phase. There are two of my issue in the previous study. And this unstable electron transfer from bacteria at the anodes causing a cathode, we call it like a cathode polarizations. And we can simply, we can know it easily like the cathode hasn't warmed up enough during this stage and the bacteria has formed a biofilm yet. So in this research, we try to eliminate those weak bonds by adding one more linkage for anchor the cobalt more tightly, and also like another additional pathway for electron to travel from anode to cathode using the element nitrogen, like I have circled and the red one. So come to the next step is how can we repair the catalyst? So these ones have a little bit difference from previous published research. Is about the first half of the process. We're adding the nitrogen dope cathodes. We denote as NUC and NAC introduced to the third step of the half of the process. So at the previous study, we just only adding the carbon. So in the next, it's about how can we repair the blocked electrodes. And in the repair of electrodes, we're missing the catalyst with the biochar derived from rye husk, and we mix it with Japanese ink to make a block type of the cathodes like the right side of the picture. And there's the, and as the zoom picture at the biggest one, you can see that there are some small side parts. And this small side part has a difference, is advanced in its cathodes. In its electrodes, for example, in the cathodes, it enhances the oxygen diffusion to active the oxygen reactions. And in the anodes, it's make like a house to protect the bacteria to form the biofilm. And so let's come to the and let's come to this one that is about how we operate the floating MFC. And floating MFC, we connect the cathode block tie and the anode block tie together with the floating frames, and we put it into the surface of the water. It means that when, for example, in the practical wastewater treatment tank, you will have the water in and the water out. So expect the water levels will be fluctuated with the floating frame type. So the cathode's own way connect with the air side. So it's be easy to do the oxygen reactions step. So we have do the real experiments at the picture that I show in the upper of the slide. And come to the result. why does this research was better than the previous one. And as you can see from the same picture, that's this the picture of the structure of the catalyst. So as you can see, that the cluster is spherical particle are thought to be the characteristic structure of carbon plate at the yellow circle I have drawn before. And this indicates that the previous studies show uneven dispersions of the catalyst on the carbon matrix. For example, that if the carbon matrix will cover the carbon, the catalyst will cover the carbon. So you will have a porous structure like the red circle I have drawn. And come to the next picture is in the right side picture. You can see that they are all of the surface have a porous structure. And we when we zoom that into the small gap in the picture, so you can see that the carbon pore size have a carbon pore size will be inside of the gap, and there's a coverage of cobalt mangan oxide. This is a catalyst of we use and covers the carbon like the yellow circle that I have drawn before. And this is the X-ray diffraction resource also confirm the presence of nitrogen in the composite catalyst system with a slight shift of two peak of two characteristic peaks of mangan oxide. And however, this phase shift demonstrates that the presence of nitrogen about a new one catalyst has effect to the crystallitis of mangan oxide to form a reinforcing bond. So the hypothesis is that the cobalt mangan oxide not only bind with the carbon through the usual position pathway, but also have reinforced via the nitrogen pathway. And this all of that factors have significantly enhanced the ability to perform oxidation reactions and electron transfer. As can be seen from the graph, the charge transfer resistance, we call this at RCT, was reduced to only 3.5 ohm. It means that the new catalyst CMO and UC has faster charge transfer than the other two catalysts. So in this resource, this part show about the cathode and the anode potential versus with the AZCL electrodes. The enzyme structure transfer in the CMO and UCs effectively reduce the cathode polarizations as shown in the yellow circle over here in the red line. So as you can see from the picture, the red lines were not decreased a lot like the black line. The black line is about we previous study have report in another journal. And come to the next is about in the day of Thursday there was a slight negative shift in cathodes, and it means that it's colleague like the particle collisions from mangan oxide matrix negatively affect to the anodic microbial activity, so that there are slight shift like a slight shift decrease from the black line, but in the red line was not have a decrease like that as the green circle I have drawn before. And in the final process, this is an important process to calculate which system is better. And power density is always an important metric in MSc system, as this result tells us which one is the most efficient. And on the first day, when the system began to stabilize, meaning the bacteria has formed a biofilm, the highest power densities were observed of CMO and UC, which were nearly 25.8% higher than the nitrogen-free composite catalyst system. And subsequently, when all MSC system was at their most stable on the day 35, So the CMO and ICEBTS a power density of nearly 53 micrograms per centimeter square, which was 24.3 higher percent than the nitrogen-free catalyst at the black line. So in the conclusions, because of the porous and amorphous structure, doing with the bonding pathway enzymes and the pyridic of the nitrogen species, so it have improved on of the factor like species for leaching and enhance the energy recovery performance. Otherwise, in now at this time, we are starting to research a new ones about trying to doping and with transition method and incorporations with that. So in this time, the data have been better than this research, but now we are just researching that only. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you so much for presenting and sharing your research findings. Other participants, if you have any questions for this presenter, please come forward to ask your question, or if you have any other suggestions, comments for this presentation. Okay, I have just one simple question. I don't go deep into your research. Can you please just simply tell us that where can this floating fuel cell system could be used in everyday life? For example, where I like lakes, rivers, wastewater treatment plants, or where?
Yeah, it will be applied in a real of wastewater treatment system industrial. For example, if you have a tank like this, I will show you. It's really hard to explain like the tank like this. So for the example, like a simpler of microbial fuel cell system, it will be have the anode and the cathodes will be induced in the waters, will be put into the water. So that if the water in the tanks fluctuated when the wastewater go in and the fresh water go out. So these fluctuators will make the performance of generation of electric generations, the performance of electric generations will be a little bit reduced. So in this spectral floating frame, so the cathodes and anodes will be always stable at this side, like it will be floating into the surface of the water. So that the cathodes can be connect, uh, always connect with the air, the air from, so that can be take the oxygen from the air to do the oxygen reaction step. So in the micro fuel cell, if you want to treat the organic wastewater or want to generate the electrical energy, so the main source of this will be the oxygen reaction. So the floating will be make the oxygen reaction stable. Just only.
Okay, thank you so much for your very good explanation. I think we have no more participants because maybe they just sent the pre-recorded video presentation and our team already uploaded it to our YouTube channel. So now it's the time to wind it up because we don't have any more presenters here in this session. So uh, I hope that all of you enjoyed this virtual session, and for me personally, it was really great to listen to all of you. your great research findings. And the presenters have very good research ideas, which I observed, and very good efforts they put into their research papers, presentations, and the data I observed, and the good methodologies and theoretical framework with achievable objectives. But still, before, if you want to submit it to any uh, journal, you need to consider improvements before submission. That's very much important. You don't need to just submit a first rough draft to any journal, otherwise that will be uh, desk rejected or maybe some other issues. So you need to ask the experts. Any experts is okay, whether she is your teacher, your friend, or anyone else. You need to check your manuscript from that expert before submitting it to any journal. So in every manuscript, research manuscript, there are always give spaces for improvements. You need to pay attention to those spaces for improvement before submitting it to the uh, the research journal, the journals, publications. Yes, some of the participant they couldn't join, so let me sharing here in the chat box. If you can open the chat box, you will see a link I shared here. You can visit our YouTube channel. You can like and subscribe the channel. Latest things for you, such as scholarships, other academic activities you can find here on our YouTube channel. So you need to subscribe this channel, and you will have some good news in this channel for you. Yeah. So this is the channel link I share here in who those who didn't yet send their papers or abstracts to our team. Here is the email I'm sharing in the chat box. This is very important email. You need to your papers or your abstracts through this email. Okay. And one thing more, you will receive from this email or another email your certificates and proceeding books you will receive after this session from our team. Don't worry about that. And here is our WhatsApp number. That's very important nowadays. Everyone use WhatsApp. It's very good for fast communication. So you can add this WhatsApp number for fast communication in future questions. Our team will be available 24/7 to guide you regarding your paper submission and other things you want. And sometime our team also need reviewers for different journals, and also can invite you to join the editorial board for different journals, and there will be many different other opportunities for your career, for your academic career. So you need to add this WhatsApp number, and we will inform you about the future opportunities. So this is our WhatsApp number. And what else can I share with you? There is no other things. Now it's time for you to ask any question regarding certificates, conference, papers, publication, or any other things. I'm available here to answer your questions. You can open your cameras if it's possible for you, it's convenient for you, and then we can discuss the things you want. Thank you.
So I just want to ask a few questions about the publications. And the first is about that's the adding fees when we have the approve of um like the journals have approved my paper, so we will pay the adding fees, right?
Yeah, you then need to pay the fee. Yeah, there are different
And
fees for different journals. So you want to publish your paper in Scopus or in HCI?
yeah, we will publish this in the Scopus.
You want to publish it in the Scopus.
Right, that's right. And I have sent
Actually,
all of
for your papers, I also have some other option as well. Later you add this WhatsApp number. I will guide you about other options as well if you want, if you like those options.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask one more questions about does does it have a range time to like for the final publish when this conference was ending, the range time to publish that?
You mean the proceedings or the
No,
paper?
the paper.
The paper, if it is for the Scopus, it need at least 3 to 4 months. That's the usual time frame.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so that's the usual time frame. If your paper is good, then it will be more quick than the usual time frame. If it need revisions, then it may take a bit more.
Yeah, okay, I know that. Thank you a lot.
Yeah. But later, if you can add my WhatsApp, I will guide you about some important things.
Okay, thank you a lot.
Yeah, other participants, if you have any question regarding the conference, regarding the papers, regarding the journals, or anything else you want to ask, you want to share. The other two participants, Moa
No, for
Wang
now.
and Yusawadi.
Oh, I have nothing to no question.
Okay, good. And if you want to open your cameras, we can have a group photo. You like that? Thank you.
Yes, yes, but my background is no hair.
No problem. It's okay. It's okay. No problem. So wait, just I will say 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Okay, wait. Yes. Let me check. Wait, please wait. Mm, wait. Wait, sorry, my screen is not working. Yeah, done. Thank you. Yes,
Thank
so
you.
yeah, if you have no more questions, I already shared our contact, email, WhatsApp number. Later, you can add, you can follow up the things you want regarding publication, regarding journals, anything else you want. So those things are important. Those contacts are important. You need to keep noted, and then we will uh, keep in touch. And after this session, you will receive your certificates and proceedings. Thank you so much. Have a good day, and we are finishing this session. Thank you.
Thank you.